Good morning, students. This is day 2 in the continuation of Geography chapter Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. In this particular class, we will be understanding in detail about the soil, what is soil, how it forms, what are the factors responsible for soil formation, then what is soil erosion, what are the causes of the soil erosion, and how we can conserve the soil erosion. So today's topics are introduction about the soil resource, then how the soil is formed, soil formation, what are the factors responsible for soil formation, then our next topic will be soil profile. In this particular profile, we will be doing one diagram and I will explain you what are the different layers of the soil through the help of soil profile. Then we will study about the causes of the soil erosion, what are the reasons of the soil erosion. Then lastly but not the least is today's last topic will be the conservation of the soil, how we can conserve the soil. Before starting our today's topic, let us recapitalize what we have done in our previous class. We started the chapter and we did the introduction about the land as a resource, what are the different uses of the land. Then we also did about the factors responsible for land use, on what are the factors upon which the land use is dependent. Then I told you about the classification of the land, in which we did the private land and the community land, and what are the and how we use land privately and how we use land as a community as a whole. Then we last day we did about the deterioration, land degradation, and what were the suggestive methods of conserving the land, right? So in our previous class we covered all these topics and today we are going to cover these topics. So let us start with our first topic, what is soil as a resource. See students, soil is an important natural resource. What are the features of the soil? It is first of all, it is a natural resource. In your previous class, you must have studied about the earth's layer, and in earth's layer, you studied about the crust, right? So it is the uppermost layer of the earth crust. What is soil? Soil, it is the uppermost layer of crust, right? It is very much useful for the plant's growth. The growth of the plant is totally dependent upon the quality of the soil, right? And the value of the soil is determined by its fertility. The quality of the soil dependent upon its fertility. If the soil is fertile, then the quality of the soil is very much good. And what are the things which are present in the soil? Soil consists of broken rocks, sand, clay, and humus. What is humus? What is humus? The animal remains are called humus. This humus adds the fertility to the soil. If humus, the level of humus which is present in the soil, if it is high, then we can say that the soil is very much fertile. If it is low, then we can say that the soil is less fertile. So this is again, humus is the component which decides the fertility of the soil. If humus is high, then the soil is fertile, very much fertile, and the humus level of the soil is low, then we can say that the soil is less fertile. Let us come towards our next topic, soil formation, how the soil is formed. See students, this is not a result of one day or few months or few years. It takes thousands of years to form the soil. Thousands of years to form the soil. And what is the story behind the formation of the soil? See, the rocks are there, right? And in the daytime, the heat comes on the rocks and it expands in the daytime. And in the night time, due to the coldness in the temperature, the rocks contracts due to the low temperature. Here in the daytime, due to the high temperature, the rocks expands, and on the same day during the night time, due to the low temperature, the rocks contracts. In this way, in this expansion and contraction, the rocks breaks into pieces, and these pieces are taken by the water and the wind to the plain areas, which is called the withering. With the flow of the water and with the pressure of the wind, the particular broken pieces are taken from the rocky area, high or higher altitude, to the low lying area with the flow of the water and the pressure of the wind, and which is called withering. And in the plain areas, it gets deposited, which is called deposition, the area, the places where it gets deposited after the withering, with the flow of the water and the wind, it gets deposited in the plain area or riverine area, which is called the deposition. So this is the entire procedure, how the soil is formed and how it come to the plain area and how it get deposited. Now let's move towards our next topic, what is the soil profile. See, all of us knows that there are the different layers which are present in the soil, which is known as horizons. Different layers of the soils are called horizons. The composition of different layers of the soil is called soil profile, which is also called soil profile. So what is soil profile? It is the composition of different layers of soils. So the soil profile we can understand in a better way with the help of one diagram. So what is this? This is organic. This is the topsoil. This is the subsoil. And this is the parent rock. Let me tell you in brief what are these organic, topsoil, subsoil and parent rock. First of all, we understand about the topsoil. It is the topmost layer which is called the topsoil. It has most the minerals and organic material needed for the plant. ये जो whatever the organic which is growing over here, the organic is getting the minerals from this layer of soil, topsoil, right? Then comes the subsoil. Just below the topsoil, subsoil comes, and it has enough minerals but less organic. It has very less organic. This layer of soil, which is known as subsoil, has very less organic, and it consists of some living organisms as well. In this particular layer of the soil, some living organisms are there. Then next is the parent rock. This is called parent rock. This comes at the base of the soil profile. This entire is the soil profile, and at the base of the soil profile comes the parent rock. It is the unbroken solid rocks. Unbroken, as you can see over here, here are the unbroken solid rock pieces are there, right? So again I'm discussing with you, this is the soil diagram of the soil profile. The uppermost is the organic, which can be seen, which can be touched. Organic is growing into the topmost soil, where the minerals as well as organics are very high in nature, in quantity. Then just below the topsoil, the subsoil is there, which contain very less organic but full of living organisms. And the lowermost layer in the soil profile is the parent rock. As you can very easily see over here, the unbroken solid rocks you can see in the particular picture. So in this way, the soil consists of this profile. Now there are different types of soil which are present in India. For example, alluvial soil. This type of soil is found in the plain and the deltas, and this is formed due to the deposition of the sediments by the rivers, and it is very fertile and good for agriculture. In detail, so you will be studying in your next class, in class 9, this type of soil. Regarding the type of the soil, you will study in detail in class 9th, right? So here, so I am telling you only the overview of the soil, different type of soils, and the main feature of the particular soil. Black soil, as the name itself indicating, which is very dark in color, made up of the black lava, and good for the growth of cotton and sugarcane. Then comes next type of soil is red soil. The color of the particular soil is due to the high iron content present in the soil. High iron content, and this soil is again very fertile. Then next type of soil is mountain soil, as the name itself indicating, students. Where we can find this type of soil? Your guess is very right. At the hilly areas, this type of soil is found, and it is good for what we specially find in the mountainous area: tea, coffee, spices. Yes, the mountainous soil is good for growing tea, coffee and spices, and it is found in the hilly areas. And the last is desert soil. as the name itself indicating, where we can find such type of soil? Yes, you are absolutely right. In the deserted areas we can find such type of soil. And uh, again, this soil lacks the humus. Main feature of this soil is this soil lacks the humus, and it this type of soil is look like a sand. Have you ever seen the sand, which is very much, in which the particles are very much separated from each other, and it has a thick layer of sand, right? So these are the types of the soil which is found in India. Now our next topic is, what do you mean by soil erosion? See, here we have seen the topmost layer of the soil. This is the topmost layer of the soil, which is very much important. This is the topmost layer of the soil, and which is very much important for the growth of the plant. And if this soil is detached or transported by the heavy flow of the water, if water comes with the pressure and if wind comes with the pressure, and if it erode the topmost layer of the soil, which is very much important for the growth of the organic, this process is known as the soil erosion, right? So the removal of the topsoil is known as soil erosion. I think the term soil erosion is very much clear to you. So what is the definition of the soil? The definition of soil erosion: the removal of topsoil is known as soil erosion. And there are some causes of soil erosion. First one cause is the shifting cultivation. And all of you know what is shifting cultivation, in which the particular piece of land is cut where the trees are grown and is burnt into the ashes, and then those ashes are mixed into the soil, which increases the soil fertility, and then the particular piece of land, that particular patch, is ready for the cultivation. The farmer keep on doing the cultivation on the particular piece of land till the particular piece of land became infertile. And the moment it becomes infertile, then they immediately shift to the another piece of land. Again the same process they follow, and they start doing cultivating the particular piece of land till it further becomes infertile, and this process moves on. This is known as shifting cultivation. And in this way, the particular type of cultivation leaves the soil infertile, which is one of the cause of the soil erosion. Then students, second one reason of soil erosion is floods. And all of you know, when the floods, what is flood? When the excess water in excess comes with the heavy pressure, then this heavy pressure also removes the topsoil and leads to the soil erosion. Then another one is the deforestation. Reckless cutting of the trees and forest hold the soil. See, the forest, what is the function of the forest and trees? They hold the soil very firmly, but when they are cut down, the soil is easily carried away by the wind or the water, right? So the deforestation also leads to the soil erosion. Then next point as a soil erosion is overuse of overuse of chemicals and fertilizers. This also leads to the soil erosion. Then next is the urbanization, overgrazing also leads to the soil erosion. In this way, we can say that these are the causes of the soil erosion. Sometimes the faulty agricultural practices, faulty cropping pattern also leads to the soil erosion. So faulty cropping pattern. What do you mean by the faulty cropping pattern? Means growing the single crop in the fields over the years. It leads to the soil erosion as well, right? So I hope this topic is clear to you. Now next, the last topic of today's class is the soil conservation. How, see, we have studied about the soil erosion, we have studied about what are the factors which are leading to the soil degradation. So it's time to save the soil, because the soil is the topmost layer which is very much important for the growth of the plant. So how we can save the soil so that the plants can grow in a better way, in a healthy way? So there are some methods. With the help of these methods, we can conserve the soil. So first method is mulching. What is the meaning of mulching? The part of the field which is bare is covered with the layer of straws. Students, have you seen the straw? Yes. The straws are mixed into the soil, which increases the soil fertility and leads to the soil conservation, right? What is the quality of the straws? It does not allow quick evaporation, and the wind is also not able to blow away the soil. When the straws are mixed in the soil, then it breaks down the easy evaporation, and do not let the wind to carry away the soil, right? Second one method is the contour barriers. See, as the name itself indicating, some kind of barriers are developed with the help of stones. Suppose these are the fields. So either on the any of the side, the farmers first of all observe the pressure of the wind, from which direction the heavy wind is coming. So in order to stop the pressure of the heavy wind, the farmers keep some barriers, maybe some stones, maybe the lengthy grass on any side of the field, so that it stops the heavy pressure of the wind and do not let the wind to carry away the soil present in the field. I hope this method is clear to you. Contour barriers, some kind of barriers, maybe these are the stone, maybe these are the grass, are developed in order to stop the heavy pressure of the wind. Then next is rock dams. Next method is building the rock dams. It involves the building of dams with the stones across the field to check the flow of the water, right? suppose fields are there, on one side they have rock. Suppose rock dam means, what is the meaning of rock dams? The dams which are naturally made up of the rocks. On this side, on any of the side of the field, the rock is there, so adjacent to that particular rock, the field, the cultivation they do, farmers do the cultivation, and this rock which is present on this side acts as a dam in order to stop the flow of the water, heavy flow of the water, or the flow of the wind, right? Rock dams, the dams which is constructed with the help of the natural rock, right? So our next method in order to conserve the soil is the terrace farming. What is the another name of terrace farming? Yes, your guess is right. Step farming. The another name of terrace farming is step farming, and most of the time you must have seen such type of farming in the mountainous area where the steep slopes are there. So these steep slopes are cut down into the stairs so that the water may collect, water may stand in the stairs, and the topsoil of the land, piece of land may not carry away, may not wash away with the flow of the water and the wind. So these steep slopes are converted into the step farming, and on these steps it is easy to grow the crops and water may stand, and in this way the soil may be conserved in the mountainous area, and this is the only method which is followed in the mountainous area to grow the crops. Our next one, conservation method of the soil, is intercropping. Now, what is the meaning of intercropping, students? Yes, in this method, the different crops are grown. Different crops are grown in the alternate rows. And this protect the rainwash as the field remains under some crop throughout the year. So what is intercropping? Growing the different crops in the alternate rows. Suppose this is the main row, and in between this gap is this much gap is there, then again this is the row, then this much gap is there, then again this is the row. So here the main crops they grow, and in the gaps they the other crops, maybe the coriander, maybe mint, coriander, they can grow. And in this way the entire soil, entire land area is under the cultivation, and this stops the rainwash of the crops. Next is the shelter belts. Students, when you go on the road, on the one side the shelter of the trees are there. Yes, in the same way, suppose these are the field, and on any of the side the shelter belt of the trees are there. Shelter belt of the trees are grown so that these trees may stop the heavy pressure of the wind, so that the particular topmost layer of the soil may not wash away with the wind pressure, right? So rows of the trees are planted along the margins of the field, this can retard the velocity of the wind and stop the blowing away of the soil. So I hope these methods are clear to all of you. In next class we will be covering more topics. Till then, take care, enjoy. Bye.